Hello, Watem here, and welcome back to some more Umineko Seagulls Cry, hopefully without any more technical difficulties. Like, the music suddenly got a lot quieter. I think that's normally where it's at. In any case, let's continue, because already we've got technical difficulties. Yeah, again, if you know what causes that bug, let me know, please. How to actually remedy it. Yes, I spoke forcefully and sharply. Then Maria started cackling again. That is not the reaction I expected, I'll admit.
ならそれでいいんじゃない？いずれお前のような波長が全然合わない人の目にもベアトリーチェは見えるようになる。
Yeah, there is one thing which kind of feels odd about the whole what are they called? Charms. The fact that Maria's giving them out to protect people, specifically Bachelor, who which hates. Well, supposedly hates, but I'm inclined to believe it. Because yeah, that, I feel like that's kind of, if it's true, would be acting counter to her goals.
もうじき蘇るんだよ。ベアトリーチェはね。
And if everyone else is going to revive or in the Golden Land, doesn't matter if it he gets protected for a while. Oh well.
そうしたら一緒にいっぱいお話をしたり遊んだりしようって約束してるんだよ。疑う必要も無理に信じる必要も全くない。現れるんだよ。もう。
I feel like potentially there's another contradiction in there. Not config. Why did I click config? Tips. The ninth twilight, for which shall revive, and none shall be left alive. So, potentially that could mean that no one else is alive, so only one person is alive, and if she's playing with her, then that would be Maria. Maria. Then how would Bachelor deserve the witch? I mean, even that though, there are ways around it that it isn't a contradiction. One, she's playing in the Golden Land. Two, Battler's dead and can acknowledge the existence of Beatrice in the Golden Land or something. Basically, everything which I think of is like, yep, it's a possibility, and there's nothing to contradict it. There's nothing to contradict anything else yet. Well, after a meal, some people tend to head to the bathroom, while others prefer to relax for a bit. It seemed that several people had left the parlour, just like I did when I went to the kitchen to drink some water. In the end, Aunt Natsu reluctantly retracted her order that everyone remain packed into the parlour. I'm also wondering, with the third twilight, those who remain shall praise my noble name, if perhaps that is what causes a lot of people to recognize the existence of Beatrice, and then that potentially leads to all the gouging and killing. Something's definitely going to happen. Something big's definitely going to happen on the third Twilight. Whether the noble name is Beatrice or Kinzo? Yeah, Kinzo. On the condition that no one headed out on their own, or strayed too far. In any case, if 11 people were shut up in the same room starting early in the morning, the air will start to stagnate. Also, quite some time had passed, so everyone was starting to recover from the shock of that morning, and their sense of danger might have been weakening too. However, it was a certain fact that 6 people had been killed inside this mansion, so no one was completely negligent. So, whenever they went out into a hallway for a breath of fresh air, trying to act tough, they would quickly get scared of standing there, isolated, and would eventually return to their parlour. I guess it's like the north wind in the sun. If you force someone to stay shut in, they'll resist. But if you tell them to do whatever they want, they'll come back obediently. People really do not like doing what they're told. When the servants finished cleaning up from the meal, they returned obediently to the parlour, just as Aunt Natsuki had told them to. Sat on the sofa near the entrance, patiently awaiting orders. Kind of reminds me, the best way to get someone to do something you want them to is to make them think it's their own idea. Maria, almost as though she had suddenly finished playing witches, had returned to the pure Maria I knew well, saying, "Ooh, ooh." What in the world happened back there? I hadn't felt even an atom of the presence of this person called Beatrice, who was supposedly standing behind me, invisible. However, I felt like I glimpsed a little of that presence inside Maria.
確かにマリアちゃんは魔女とかの話になると人が変わるね。昨日海岸でバトラ君も見たでしょ。
サソリのキーホルダーの時か。いや、あんな機嫌を損ねるみたいな感じじゃなくてよ。まるで二重人格みたいな感じで。
ああ、たまにそういうこともあるな。さっきマリアが魔法陣の話を始めた時みたいなやつ、たまーにあるぜ。気持ち悪いけどな。
Apparently, Jessica had spotted that Maria a few times. I just happened to catch it at a bad moment, and I was pretty freaked out seeing it for the first time.
あれってのは何なんだ？マリアは二重人格か何かなのか？それとも本当に霊感が強かったりとかして、そういうのに憑依されたりとかしちまうのかよ。
そういうのじゃないと思うよ。バトラ君にも経験ない？小さい頃、自分以外の誰かになりたかったなんてこと。
When humans are born, no one has any individuality. However, when they reach their growth period, their sense of self starts to be born. They want to be different than other people. Since everyone else in the class is learning the same things at the same rate and being forced into the same lifestyle, of course they aren't going to find anything that makes them different from everyone else around them. Once they realize that, the first thing they do is to start breaking the rules in what's called their rebellious stage. Since everyone else follows rules, they want to show off their individuality by breaking them. So even those who try to act tough, mocking everyone around them and calling them childish, can actually be viewed as cute kids searching for themselves, if you look at it this way. Well, I'm lecturing about this and that, about all this like I'm so smart, but I actually got a second hand from George Anarchy-san. George Anarchy. Well, I don't know why I added a son at the end. I myself was one of those embarrassing guys who thought it was cool to act like a little bastard. Oh, I was when I was at the age when you Yeah, where you try to show off for the opposite sex.
成長期の根底には子供から脱却したいというひよこが殻を破るのに似た衝動がある。子供と大人の違いは何かわかるかい？
年齢？それとも体格？
違うよ。経験だよ。大人が子供を見下すのは人生経験が少ないからだよ。子供が何を言っても鼻で笑ってしまうのは世間知らずのくせにと見下しているからだよ。
Well, there is a reason why there's an expression on the wisdom of children, I believe it is, or something like that. Something to that effect.
ああ、そういうのわかるぜ。
Adults can overcomplicate simple concepts.
子供の頃って妙に人生ってもう悟りきったようなことを口にして年長しゃぶりたくなるよな。
If you've ever been a DM for like a D&D group or something, and you present a puzzle to the group, they're going to overthink it and have no idea how to actually solve it.
大人は子供が何を言っても世の中甘くないとか社会に出ればわかるとか、まあ実際そうなんだけど、子供的にはそういうのって見下されてるみたいでムカつくんだよな。
So true.
なるほどな。知識や経験の有無か。確かに年齢だけ無駄に食ってても尊敬はされねえよな。
となるとつまり子供から脱却したいという衝動を持つ時期にかつ他者とは違うという個性を持ちたくなる。子供からの脱却がつまり知識や経験なのだとしたら。
なるほど。他人の持ち得ない知識を持つことが一つのアイデンティティになるわけか。
小学校の頃なんかさ、クラスの誰も知らないことを知っていたり持っていたり身につけていたりするとヒーローになれたよな。バトラもそういう経験あるだろ？
あるある。何か一芸に秀でたいと思うお年頃って確かにあるな。なるほど。それが子供からの脱却、つまり成長期ってわけか。
健全な意味での成長期はそうして没個性を脱却するために人が持たない知識やスキルを身につけることを促す。これは社会学的にも面白いことだよ。
I was just thinking that.
人が没個性を嫌うために人と違う技術を身につけようとする。
You expand the skills that are available to a group.
これにより社会は幅広い技術を獲得して立脚する。神々の高度なプログラミングに驚かされるね。
まあ個性がネガティブに働くこともあるぜ。
Even negative traits can have a use.
クラスみんなが真剣に勉強してるから俺だけはサボって目立とうとかよ。
Okay, that last bit really was true about me. It's only recently that I've been able to thank the middle school teacher who sat me after school.
でもな、誰も飛べない飛び箱を飛んでやりたいとか、成績のいい連中を周回遅れにさせてやるぜってマラソンで全力疾走とか、そういう気持ちはあったな。勉強はダメだったから少なくとも運動では見返してやるぜって根性はあった。うん、なるほど。ちゃんと成長期してるな俺。
男子ってやっぱり肉体的な方面に関心が向くよな。でもよ、同じ時期に女子は精神的な面に向きやすいんだよ。バトラーのクラスの女子にも占いとか霊感とかそんなこと言ってる女子連中のグループがあったりしただろ？
あったあった。人の星座とか血液型とか聞いてきて、やっぱりクスクスとか笑われると大いにムカついたもんだぜ。どこのクラスに行っても女子は占いが好きだし。
I don't feel like I don't remember it at least.
決まって霊感に強いだの弱いだの、感受性がどうこう、見えないものが見えちまうだの、そういう手合いが必ずいたもんだぜ。
占いも霊感も学校では教えないものだからね。男の子と違い内向的な世界に関心を持ちやすい女の子にとって
Really?
それはアイデンティティを確立しやすくて、かつ興味深いジャンルなんだよ。
男子が成長期に入ると急に悪ぶったりして大人に反抗を始めるのと全く同じに、女子も成長期に入るとそういうのに興味が出るようになるんだよ。私はそうでもなかったけどさ。
うん。つまりマリアがオカルトに関心を持つのは年頃の女の子としてはそう珍しくもないってことか。
Even if we accept that, I wonder if it explains that creepy dual personality thing. Actually, I think I probably could accept that explanation, more or less.
さっきも言った通り、大人になるというのは知識や経験を持つことを言う。だからそれを得るために子供たちはいろいろなことを学んで子供を脱却しなければならないんだけど、子供の世界に今も昔もはびこっているある便利な妄想があるんだよ。わかるかい？
漫画やアニメに多いだろ。ほらあれだよ、前世の記憶が蘇ってとか、偉大なるなんとかの魂が乗り移ってとか。
More recently, you've been isekai'd.
他にも遺伝子が覚醒したりとか、封印されていた能力やら記憶やらが戻ったりとか、いろいろあるな。どういうわけか、あの時期はそういうのがやたらと流行るもんさ。どうしてだ？
今挙げたキーワードは全て子供の自分に知識や経験を直ちに付加できる幻想だからだよ。9歳の女の子も1000年を生きた魔女が私に憑依していると言い出せば1009歳のアイデンティティが得られるわけだからね。
まあつまり勉強するのは面倒くさい。でも人とは違うスキルを持って周りに威張りたい、ちやほやされたいっていう連中にとっては便利な妄想なんだよな。
So there's this interesting thing in your brain called mirror neurons. Basically, you seeing someone acting in a way activates some of your own neurons, which then allows you to understand what they're feeling or what they're acting in, or so that you can actually kind of sympathize with them or empathize. I forget which one's which. But yeah, it's those. So it causes actual effects on you, but by seeing those effects on other people. So it's mirroring them. So you can see that, for example, that people who have Botox injections aren't able to move their face as much, and so you don't get those same activations, which then also leads them to being worse at understanding other people's feelings, because their mirror neurons aren't able to activate the same way. But yeah, in terms of being other people, it could be some relation of those mirror neurons. I don't actually know any connection there. It's been a long time since I studied neuroscience. And mirror neurons is just something which I vaguely remembered as having similar kind of effects. So if there's maybe a connection there or not, I'm not sure. Yes, so you could brag about something without having to work hard or study. I see. Isn't that a kid's greatest dream?
あとは子供からの脱却願望には必ず自分の理想像の自己投影が行われ。
Yes. Take any science stuff here with a grain of salt, because the idea they'll be presenting perhaps one of many interpretations. If they'll be choosing the interpretation that best fits the story that it wants to tell.
その願望の姿が別人格として形成されることが少なくない。
I'm also saying take the science here with a grain of salt, with something that's quite obviously a fantasy setting. Yes, take the existence of the witch Beatrice with a grain of salt, I would say, in real life.
バトラ君だって家と学校では多少キャラクターが違うということがあるんじゃないかな。
I mean, do you actually know someone called Beatrice? Maybe you've heard of someone called Beatrice, but can you be sure that they actually exist? Continuing on from that.
多分家での自分の姿をクラスの友人たちに見せるのは恥ずかしいはずだよ。学校の自分は自分のなりたい姿の投影で、家の自分は本来の姿だから。
つまりキャラクターの使い分けというか。
That's a personality and more of a kind of face that you're presenting.
人格の多重化はごくごく当たり前だと言いたいわけか。
オカルトが好きな女子はそれを憑依と言ったり覚醒と言ったりするぜ。正直ドン引きするくらいにキャラを変える子もいるよ。男子にもいるだろ。キレたとか言ってやたらめったら粗暴キャラに変身するやつが。あれ本人はかっこいいと思ってるんだろうけど見てて痛いよな。
つまりおさらいするとだ、マリアくらいの年頃の女の子がさっきみたいな不気味な二重人格のようなものを見せてもそれほど珍しいものじゃないと言いたいのか。
Oh. I would say it probably is still rare. Even if it's not unheard of.
簡単にまとめるとそういうことだね。
I don't know the actual statistics.
アイデンティティは自己を形成するための大切なもの。
That was definitely a loan word.
それをバカにしたりすると、かえってその殻に閉じこもってしまうこともある。だから、ほどほどに付き合ってあげるのが大切なんだよ。それを丸ごと受け入れてあげるのが、親の包容力というものなんだけどね。
兄貴、それで独身って信じられねえぜ。
First of all, my first impression was like, wow, what are you saying about, why are you saying that? And then secondly, it was, wow, Paul's saying, why are you saying that when Shannon's dead?
もう子供が中学くらいに上がってそうな貫禄さ。
Ah, that's the point he was trying to make. That makes more sense.
じゃあ、ローザおばさんもあのマリアの二重人格についてはよく知っていたのかな。
知ってたぜ。ここだけの話、ローザおばさんはすっごく嫌がってた。気持ち悪いし、クラスでますます孤立を深めるだけだって。だからマリアがオカルトの話を始めたり、魔女みたいな声で笑い出したりすると必ずビンタしてたぜ。だからマリアもローザおばさんがいる時にはそういう話をしないようになったみたいだけど。
It just means that they hide it from that person and then show it elsewhere. Maybe that thing back there was just a little game from a girl facing her growing period. Just a girl trying to show that she was different and independent by holding interest in witches and the occult. And since she wanted to be different from herself, young as she was switching between her normal personality and the personality of her ideal, a witch. First I found that very disturbing, but after being lectured by George Anarchy, I felt like this was a path everyone walked down one time or another. I haven't told anyone, but when I was in kindergarten, I joined up with a little gang of kids trying to form an Earth Defense Force saying we'd help protect peace on Earth. My face turns red when I remember how, during what we called battle practice, we would chant, EDF, EDF. Just like usual, Maria was relaxing. immersed in the TV, oohing, and laughing just like any girl her age. On the inside, another personality, that of the ideal witch he respected and blindly accepted, was sleeping. I also feel like the ooh is perhaps another front she's putting up. That wasn't anything extraordinary. It was perfectly natural for a girl of her age. I've calmed down a little. The shock from my bizarre experience in the kitchen just now was fading away. I hadn't talked to Anarchy and Jessica. I might still be frightened by the idea that an invisible witch was standing right behind me. However, can I really accept that as an explanation for what happened back there? If it had just been Maria, I could have explained it as the fickle delusions of a growing girl. Yeah, however, you've got three people looking at the same place. Whether they're able to see where the other people are looking is one other question as well. Genji-san, Kanon-kun, and Kumasawa-chan had also been there. None of them had denied what Maria had said. None of them said a word. They silently accepted that Beatrice exists. They also did say that Beatrice exists beforehand. I was starting to feel a little uneasy. Aunt Eva's position was that no 19th person existed. The crime was an inside job tied to the family quarrels. On the other hand, Aunt Natsuhi's position was that the culprit was hiding somewhere outside the mansion. What if they're hiding in plain sight? What if they're hiding within the mansion? What if they're not hiding, but are outside the mansion? What if they're some formless cloud thing that is both in the mansion and out? Ha! She rejected the possibility of an inside job and supported the idea that a 19th person existed. Alternatively, there is a 19th person outside, but it is also helped by an inside job. And in the kitchen, Maria and the servants had also supported the idea of a 19th person. But according to them, this 19th person isn't human. They said it was an invisible witch carrying out some mysterious plan. Is there a 19th person or not? I think they're all rejecting the possibility that there's actually a 20th person. I mean, for all we know, there's a 100th person. Is the culprit human or a witch? For some reason, I couldn't just laugh off any of those possibilities. Not even the most ridiculous story about the witch.
Jessica, ベアトリーチェの話ってのは、俺の認識では森に子供たちが迷い込まないようにってんで作った大人の脅し話だってことになってんだが、この屋敷じゃ違うのか？
私もバトラと同じ意見だぜ。こんなのは子供に言うことを聞かせるために親が作った間抜けな怪談だと思ってる。でもそうだと口にはできない空気が屋敷内にあることは否めないな。
おじい様がベアトリーチェは存在すると公言されているからね。使用人たちは立場上それを疑えないし、クラウスおじさんたちもおじい様と喧嘩がしたいわけもないから、表向きは口を揃えてる。
From how the servants were acting, it seemed more than just they can't doubt it because of their position. More like they had their own personal reasons for acknowledging her existence.
だから多分このお屋敷ではベアトリーチェの存在を疑うことはある種のタブーだと思うんだよ。年に一度しか来ない僕たちと違ってね。そうでしょ。
Jessica took a deep breath in admiration. It looked like Anarchy had guessed right.
ジョージ兄さんの言う通りだぜ。みんな腹の中じゃ信じてるわけじゃない。 でも表向きはその存在を認めてる。
Yeah, from what we heard from Genji and Canon talking, though, it did seem like they used something. It's like, it seems like for which it's arrived. Should we tell Kinzo yet? It's like, well, it might not be for him. No reason to tell him yet. She'll let herself be known to him if that's what she wishes. Before I finish there for tonight, I will say much more difficult than social deduction games, because social deduction games, you know the rules, you know the mechanics, you know how interactions work and all, and typically you'll know how many killers there are. Yeah, so because you know the mechanics of how it works, you can much more easily find contradictions than not knowing the mechanics of the game you're playing. It'd be like if you've played Town of Salem before, it'd be like playing Town of Salem for the first time in an all-any game. You know that there's 15 people in the match, but you don't know what any of the roles do except from your own. Yeah. But even then, in an all-any match, you can still see that what roles are causing people to be dead and all. You know when they're removed. Most of the time. In any case, I will be ending it there for today. Please let me know any feedback you have in the comments. Hope you all enjoyed, and until next time, see ya.